All right, we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to DC Fine Art. Today is going to be a really fun day. We're also going to be doing our drawing today, so super excited for that. And Rachel's going to be drawing the name for our winner on the drawing. So a lot of exciting things, and I thought just to make this a really simple live stream since we're doing the drawing, and I know that you guys probably don't want to wait 2 hours to find out who the winner is going to be for our giveaway. So I figured that we can do a fun little jack-o'-lantern, just draw one out and use Inktense to paint him in. Once we get to doing that, and I make sure I give everybody enough time, whoever did make a comment and followed how to enter in the drawing, those names are already in the bucket, and I'm just waiting for them to kind of join the live stream if they were to watch it. If they don't end up watching it, don't worry about it. You can watch it at a later time. Just get back with me. I'm thinking about running the drawing because I want to be able to hear from you guys on whoever the winner is. I'll give you guys at least a week. I think that's probably long enough if whoever the winner is to get back with me. If there's like nobody getting back with me on it, then we will probably do another name drawing. So hopefully, I think that gives it everybody plenty of time, because that's what I like, is to give everybody the opportunity, because I know everybody's got busy schedules. So yeah, well, we're gonna do a jack-o'-lantern, like I said. Now, I did not have one pre-drawn out or transferred on a paper, so I figured I'll just go ahead and freehand draw a pumpkin in, and we'll just paint the jack-o'-lantern. So just to have some fun playing around with some of the Inktense. Plus that I know that the giveaway is Inktense in there, so why not use Inktense on this? So I hope everybody's doing good. Me, on the other hand, had an exciting time today. I know this is a painting and live chat, so sometimes I talk about what's been going on with me. And funny story, Lola, no. She's like trying to open up the door. I ended up having, I don't know if I should show you guys. Let me turn this camera around and I'll show you what I'm talking about. But I had bruises like all over. Really? Who is that? Lola, is that you? Good gosh. So I had bruises. Oh, she decided to join. So here's Lola. She's like, I want to get in your lap and I want to be on the live stream. So I ended up having bruises like all over my arms and legs, and I didn't understand like where the bruises were coming from. And so I told my husband, I was like, something's wrong. Like I got bruises like all over me. And I just made a joke up and said, it's probably the ghost in the house is probably like attacking me and leaving bruises. And I looked it up because he's like, I don't know what could be causing it. So of course I did what you probably shouldn't do. I don't know. It's not really trustworthy. Usually if you look up anything online to say, hey, what's the cause of this? Of course it's going to be like, you only got 7 days left. I mean, that's pretty much how it is. Like you look up anything on the internet, it just tells you that you're going to end up kicking the bucket sooner than later. So I went ahead and typed it in, and come to find out, I guess I can go ahead and tear out this paper. That is scary. Yeah, and one of the things that it said was either you have all these different types of things. Like, I can't even pronounce the names. They were so long of names of some type of disease or syndrome or whatever it is. And it was longer than some of the names that are on my color pencils that I can't even pronounce. So I didn't even want to go there. And I was like, okay. And then it said if you took any kind of antibiotics or penicillin or anything like that, it could cause bruising too. And I'm like, well, I'm the type of person who doesn't like to take medicines. Like, that's just me personally. Like, I'd rather just not, because I'll forget anyway. I'm not a medicine person. Like, it takes me like 6 hours of being in pain before I'll take a Tylenol or ibuprofen or something. So, I mean, it's literally that bad. Like, I don't like taking medicines. Like, I was that child that you had to hold their nose and put the medicine in. So, I was like, no, I ain't taking any of that. So I couldn't figure out what it could be. Well, I was hungry and I made myself a chicken sandwich. And so I cooked my chicken and I had my lettuce and my mayonnaise and, to put my chicken sandwich together. And I took out my bread, my slices of bread, and then noticed I was like, something looks a little funny with my bread. And I noticed that I had been sick for the last like 3 days, by the way, and felt really queasy and nauseous too. And I got breakouts. And so I ended up I took a closer look at my bread. I was like, something just doesn't look right. It has this funny little look to it. And I pulled my bread completely out of the bread box. And the bread I've been eating was completely molded. It was like its own habitat living in my bread. And I thought, oh my goodness. So I told my husband, I said, I think I know what was wrong with me. And he goes, yeah, moldy bread is like taking penicillin or like an antibiotic or penicillin or something. And I was like, well, it looks like I've been taking it every single day for the past like 3 days or however long. And so I noticed that too, that I always wash my hands all the time. And I kept on telling myself that I need to make sure my hands are completely dry before reaching into the bread to get my slices of bread out. But sometimes I'm in a hurry and my hands are still washed but not completely dry, and I'll reach my hand in and grab the bread. Well, I must have started an environment in there. And yeah, I think that's the reason why now I have bruises all over my arms and legs. And I'm like, yeah, so maybe I have been feeling a whole lot better. So, and I guess if I needed any kind of antibiotics or penicillin, I guess I didn't need any of that. I'm good. But I do have bruises all over me. So, Lazy Eyed Artist is here. Hello, hello. Yeah, it was kind of scary. And yeah, let's see here. I don't know if you guys could see it too. Look at my bruises. See, I got bruises. That's a weird light. That thing's shining so bright. But yeah, I got bruises there, there, there. And I think I even have one up here on my arm. I got them like all over my legs. Yeah. That is good. Yeah. But it was just horrifying. Like, oh my God. I know I've eaten bread before and you just like notice at the last moment that the corner of it might be turning a color. But no, it wasn't turning any kind of colors on the inside of my bread, so that's why I never noticed. But it was like the outside rim of your bread, like the crust of your bread, and that was a little fuzzy and white. And it shouldn't have been. So I'm going to go ahead and peel off this paper. Oops, I don't knock off everything. So yeah, now that I'd probably grossed out some of you guys, like here, I'm going to tell you guys a horror story. So if you feel nauseous, feel like you're throwing up or want to throw up, and you feel dizzy, maybe it's not the caffeine or the coffee that you drink. Maybe you need to check your bread. So there, life lesson. So we are using the Strathmore Mixed Media Tone Blue paper. And this is a paper I wanted to use last live stream whenever I did that scarecrow. I did it on a smaller piece of it. This I'm actually going to use the 11 by 14, nice and big, to create our pumpkin on. It's, like I said, it's a mixed media paper, but we're going to actually use Inktense on it and just see how it does. So I'm not for sure. Hey, I don't have blue, I have gray and green. What do you think would be the best? Okay, is that on the Strathmore toned paper, if you're talking about that? Because the tone blue, and it says tone blue, literally almost looks green. Like, I almost say that it's not even blue. It's like almost a green color. Like, I wish I had another one. But you could do either or. It just depends on what you want your background to look like. If you want to do, just leave it as a paper. The Canson Mixed Media. Oh, okay. Ooh, that sounds nice. You know what? I don't think I've ever tried the Canson Mixed Media papers. That might be an interesting one. What do I have so many too, but I don't think I have that one. I don't know if it's actually the blue. It depends on what you want your background to look like. Okay, I'll go with the green. If that don't work, I will make another. Okay, yeah, definitely. The green wouldn't be that bad because this one looks like green. Just to have a nice background, any kind of toned background is what I like. I think we are not focusing there. And then what I'm going to do is just tape around the outside edges of the paper. That way, if you get any kind of moisture on it and it tends to buckle, which usually they do, this tape will hold it down. And if you need to let it dry or blow dry it, you can usually blow dry it back being flat. Just don't run your hair dryer over it for too long. Otherwise, it will heat up your tape and the glue of your tape, and it may actually pull out. I've had that done way too many times, and it's like, really? Now I can see the paper coming through. But I'm not gonna actually do the background on this. I'm gonna leave it the tone of the paper. We're just gonna be doing a jack-o'-lantern and having some fun. Just creating a jack-o'-lantern. And then you can have that blue/green background. If you want to put a background in there, you can do that. But sometimes just having the pumpkin or the jack-o'-lantern in there is just a lot of fun, especially for the season. And you don't have to do anything with the background because it's already got a toned paper. And that's the reason why, too, I'm not really measuring out the tape away from the paper, because sometimes I take a ruler and I'll actually measure the outside edges. And I do that so that way, whenever I do the whole paper, that the edges around it is kind of even, because you can really tell when you lift off that tape. And I don't really need to do that because we're not doing the whole entire paper. All right, so let's go ahead and do our drawing. Since I'm freehand drawing this directly onto the paper that I'm actually going to be using, and I'm not tracing and transferring, I want to make sure that I use like a water soluble pencil. That way, if you're using anything that's liquid based or like liquid or any kind of watercolor, and even this ink, Inktense, that it washes away and you don't see it anymore. I don't really want a bunch of eraser marks on this, so hopefully I don't get too sloppy, because I do like to erase a lot. So we want our pumpkin. We can do it in the center. It don't really matter. And the one thing that's good about a pumpkin is that, oh my gosh, there's all different shapes, sizes. Nothing is perfect. So if he's a little wonky, you're fine. I would not worry about it. With my pumpkin, I'm making sure that the outside edges are nice and kind of rounded. If you have little dimples in there, like I said, don't worry about it too much. Now, I'm going to go ahead and bring my pencil on down to right about this area here, so that way I can put the stem in. Now, I am looking at a reference photo that I got from Pixabay, and I just picked it out real quick, just so that way I have some sort of reference, but doesn't mean I have to make his face the way it is. But okay, let's go up here, and let's just make the little curve of the stem. Let's bring it back down. that. Be fine. Let's make some little lines in here, just kind of showing that it has these grooves. I'm not worried too much about too much detail or anything. And even though, let's just say like this line's here, they go straight across. If I don't like that, that's perfectly fine. At least it should be. Let me plug in this light. I'm getting a really bad reflection. It's either reflection or the shadow. Which one is going to be my day? All right. I guess it'll be fine. But I wouldn't really worry too much about that. You don't have to erase it because you have a water-soluble graphite pencil. So that's really not, it's just going to wash away. So don't worry about it. Let's go ahead and draw our lines just coming out from the pumpkin. It doesn't have to go straight down because that one didn't. We're going to get to that one. Okay. Kind of keeping these a little bit curved too as I'm going. Until you get up to the middle, and then you might not curve it as much. The one that's in the middle is most likely going to be more straight up and down. This one here off to the side, it's going to have a slight curve to it. And then as you go around, it's going to start curving just a little bit more. Okay, let's go. That one's going to end up going around that corner. If you want to, you can always do a little bit of a bump. Okay, let's go ahead and do another one right in here. And another line like right in there. Yeah, that looks good. Just kind of creating some little bit of a roundness to this. Maybe even in here. Well, not that much. Okay. Now we're creating our pumpkin. Okay. Just kind of creating a little bit of roundness in here. There we go. And there is my pumpkin. So now we need to create the fun part. So that would be creating like the jack-o'-lantern eyes, or doing a mouth or a nose. And there's so many different ones that you could do. I think if you, depending on what you made your eyes, I did take out some of these little rulers if you wanted to kind of give yourself something. This is just like these little geometry, I guess, little set that you can pick up at like Walmart or something. So you can do like, you can do round eyes, or you can do the traditional triangle eyes. This is about the right size too, to be honest with you guys. Let's just stick with the, should we do the traditional one, or should we do the little, it's either that or we can do goofy eyed one. Ooh. I think I just heard Rachel laugh. I don't know, a goofy eyed one would be fun. Those are some really big eyes. Let's do it. Let's do the goofy eyed one. So let's just take it. And I'm not worried about this little centerpiece right here because we're actually going to stick a bigger one in there. Yeah, it'd be even with this. So I could just take it like that. All right. Oh, I forgot a piece. Hold on. Oh, it's supposed to be right there. There. All right. So now we got some eyes here. I'm going to take this little circles. I think that'll be good. And let's just create a half circle right there. So I can get my goofy-eyed pumpkin. So now I want to do my mouth on my pumpkin to look silly. Is he going to have it? He's going to have a nose. We could do, I wonder if I should do this or do a, my little goofy pumpkin. You can always make them a little bit shocked or surprised. Let's do this. Aw, it's so cute. Okay, now we need a nose. I have to stop doing that. I always draw like that. I don't know why I do it, but I do. I'm gonna go create like 1,000 lines before I'm happy with it. Aw, I like him. Okay, so this is gonna be my punky, or my pumpkin. What the heck is going on? Must have been that moldy bread. Okay, so can't even talk right. So let's go ahead and create this little guy. I think he's kind of cute. I just wanted him to be, I guess, my jack-o'-lantern was going to be more of a fun one. I've been doing a lot of spooky stuff, really spooky stuff and drawings lately that I think maybe something a little bit cutesy would probably be the case. And I've been noticing, I don't know about you guys, but I like to stand up and draw. But for some reason, I've been wanting to stand up and do all my work. Don't ask me why, but that's the reason why. I just need to make myself sit down because I'm having way too much fun and I stand up. I think I'm almost wanting one of those desks that raise so you get like one of those standing desks because, yeah, I've gotten to the point where I want to stand. All right, so now I'm going to take out my Inktense set. I do have a set of 72 blocks. And it's really nice to have like this set. I do have another set that I really need to do something with. I actually have like a set of 36, is it? Yeah, 36 set that I have not used. So I don't know. I'm thinking about doing, I don't know. I was really thinking about opening or doing my website or opening, because I closed my actual website down. I mean, I still have it. I just don't have it open because I was trying to redo it. And I was almost thinking about adding a section in there and doing like, kind of like you see a lot of people sell their clothes. Like there'll be people who go out there and sell their clothes like, oh, you know, it's a my closet clean out, and they'll put all their stuff on their little website. Well, I was almost thinking about doing an artist's closet clean out and then putting like art supplies that I have used as far as testing them out for you guys. And I really haven't used them, but I have so many that I've tested or tried out just once. So it's like barely used and some are not even used. And I was thinking about doing like my website and selling those on my website. So that way it's much cheaper to get art supplies. And I don't know, I talked to that about, I can't even talk. I told that to my son and my husband to kind of get their idea, and they weren't for sure. They just never gave me a positive thing. That sounds like a great idea. Okay, because they didn't give me anything. They were like no feedback, just like crickets chirping. And I'm like, is that not a good idea or a bad idea? Well, they never told me anything. So I'm glad that you told me that, because I was like thinking it was a good idea. Especially like this set. Like, look at this. I have a set of 36 Inktense. And yeah, see the tin? The tin's been through it because it just keeps being moved around all the time. But when you look inside, it's like brand new. Like, if I even tried out anything, I mean, you would have probably noticed maybe something in here, like I didn't see anything. And the only thing I can tell is that this here was broke, and that's because in shipping, whenever I finally got these, they were already like that. But they're still like almost, I mean, like never used. So I was like, why not put that on there for like barely used, or, you know, not even, I mean, it's not really even used. And just do it for cheaper. I just went to your website just before the live. Oh no. Yeah, I don't have that open yet. I was like, kind of like figuring on redoing it. I still have my domain name and everything, so it's still sitting there. It's just I haven't activated it yet again, because it was activated and then I deactivated it, and I was like, I'm trying to figure out what to do different on it, and I'm thinking about doing that. So, all right, so let's go ahead and start this off. I want to go lighter and then go darker with these colors. So that's usually what is safe to do. Yeah. I'm hoping to have that back up though. Okay, so, and also you need to remember too, with Inktense, this is more of a permanent color. So these do not reactivate. Maybe I should spray my paper. Then again, it's not watercolor paper, so. I'm just using, basically I'm not even using an orange right now. I'm using more of like a yellow, but like a darker yellow. I will end up going on top of this with the pencils. Hoping my graphite, at this point, I don't really want my graphite to go away completely. Not until I add my other colors. But if you have your graphite lines and you're just wanting to see them, make sure you use a different tone. But yeah, always start lighter, go darker. Unless you're using like oil paints or acrylics too, or even soft pastels. You can always I think I just heard whiskey. My graphite lines are definitely blending in with this yellow. Okay. I don't know if I want to put any yellow down there. Mainly around the edges where light would be hitting. So you could put a little bit on the top of these too. Probably not as much. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and I want to take it a step into the orange, like the lighter oranges. And start putting those in there. If you are working with a watercolor, you could always spray your paper first and then lay these down if you wanted to. I am using a mixed media paper, so I don't really want to oversaturate it because it's not really, I mean, you could use watercolor on this or you can use paint on this basically, but it will, or at least it could possibly bow up a lot more than what you're wanting it to if you were to spray it. So to kind of reduce that from happening, then I would just suggest not spraying it first, like fine mister. Let's get some more of this orange, light orange. We're going to end up layering. And that's the good thing about these Inktense is that you can layer these once they're dry and they should not move because they're permanent. I know this will probably be a little bit quicker live stream than my 2-hour one, only because we're going to do this drawing and I definitely want to not make it too long and drawn out, and that way somebody will figure out if they're the winner sooner than later. Hey Rachel, is Whiskey whining out there? No? Well, he's whining somewhere. I can hear him. I think he needs to go to the bathroom. So with these colors too, the other thing is that we are going to go darker. He's not going to be just yellow and then orange, but we're going to take it a shade darker at the bottom. but we can always layer on top of this color here just fine. I'm going to get around his nose because those are supposed to be bright. Get around his little mouth. The other thing too, these Inktense are actually really matte looking, so they're not like shiny or anything. It's just a very matte look. They're definitely something that if you haven't used them before, you will have to use them quite a bit. And I would say just give yourself enough practice time with them because they are definitely something unique to use. And they would definitely need some time to get used to them. Like the number of times I have used Inktense has probably not been as many times as I've used color pencil or even probably even our acrylic painting. So I haven't used them for like all the time. So I wouldn't call myself a like experienced professional in Inktense. But I do take them out and I do use them and I do play around with them and do paintings to just get in the habit of working with them. I work with so many different mediums though that you tend to see some similarities to other mediums, but this one here is definitely different. You definitely have to work with it. Look at him. He looks so funny. He looks like I don't know. He looks like a cake. Like a pumpkin cake or something. Okay, and as you can see, it dries really, really quickly. See how this is probably the only part right here that is actually a little bit wet. My paper has buckled just a little bit, but it was almost like a roundness. It isn't even like a odd shape, weird buckle, so that's pretty good. I'm just using the Inktense pencils and I am trying to get used to it. Yeah, they are definitely different. So do you feel the same way too? They're just definitely something you have to work with to just get used to because they are different, they're like a breed of their own. They're not necessarily exactly like using ink, but then they're just not, it's just different. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and sit down maybe. We're gonna try it. I got some darker orange here and I'm gonna start sticking it right toward the bottom. A little bit dry there. And if I can kind of soften that out just a little bit. Oops. And then I'm going to add a little bit more water to get a nice smooth blend, and I can actually see that blend. So depending on how much water you add to it, also it gets a little bit lighter. I don't know, that was supposed to be water-soluble graphite. Why is it not coming off? You know, it's probably be my luck. Be like, nope, I'm not going to rinse off for you. Sorry. That's crazy. I'm actually adding quite a bit of water in that graphite's not actually working. I'm scrubbing it actually, and it's not even coming off. That's nice. Wow. That's such a shame. What is this? That's the same pencil I've been using that worked before. HB Graphite Aquarelle Create Color. That's the one I used last time on the same paper, but on the smaller paper. And it worked out just fine. What did I use on it? We did a mixed media. Was it? I don't think I used Inktense on it. What did I use? It was something. Oh my goodness, my memory is gone. I know it was color pencil and on the scarecrow. I can't even remember. Why can't I not remember? It was something. Maybe. Welcome to my world. I'm still trying there. Like, what did I do yesterday? Hold on. I'm like, I'll get this. Just give me 1 second. What did I do? Maybe if I look at it, I got my scarecrow over there. Oh my gosh. I know it was color pencil. I took out the Derwent drawing for any kind of like detail. I didn't think I used Inktense with it, but I hope I didn't do Inktense twice. I mean, usually I try to do stuff a little different, but I thought, I was like, well, you know, we're doing the giveaway and you guys are going to be in for a drawing for the giveaway, and it's going to be the Inktense in there along with the Polychromos pencils, but I thought, I really like that scarecrow, by the way. I just wish it was bigger. It was really cute. I actually had a lot of fun doing that one. Trying to get this color to go up a little bit more. And then his eye, because it's a little bit too bright. I'm going to do this and add a little bit of water. Kind of thin that out. There. I have given into it. I don't even care that I can't remember. Oh no. You're like, it's okay. I've gotten to that. Oh man. So I know what's coming then. I know what's going to happen to me. After a while, I'm just going to be like, okay, that's it. You win. Oh no. That's too funny. I love it. That's great. Oh, by the way, might as well tell you guys while I'm trying to get this darker color up here and shading him out. Um, I've been telling like my husband that we have a ghost in the house, and I'm like, I think even on one of my things with you guys, I was doing like an intro, and like the orb like passed right by me on my intro. So, anyways, we always have weird stuff happening all the time, and like even my daughter had her shower turn off for some reason, and then she couldn't even turn the water back on. It was really crazy. And there was no bubbles in the air pipe or anything, so it wasn't like our water had turned off. It just like turned off on her for some weird reason. And it was just a shower head, and it wasn't coming down the bottom or anything. It was like no water. So, and I had told her to take a quick shower. So we used to always like think, okay, well, the ghost is in here doing something. Well, just before this live stream, um, we had this couple, and it was like this elderly, probably a grandma and a grandpa that had their grandson, and they wanted to stop by our yards because their grandson was like, oh, that looks so cool, and they were showing him the Halloween decorations we have outside, and he says, oh, it looks a little scary though, and they're like, no, it ain't that bad, and he was like, I want to go there. I'm not scared. I can do it. And so they went ahead and stopped in, and they asked if they could walk, his grandson through our, you know, like haunted yard, should I say. And so he walked through, and I told him about our little, Halloween decorations, and that it wasn't real, and some of it I had made or sewed its pants on this one, and was talking all about it. The grandpa was laughing, but it was really cute. But here's the part that got me is after we pulled in, the grandma didn't get out, and the grandma, after they were out and everything, talking to me, she goes, there's something jumping and hitting the back of our vehicle right now. Is there something like hitting our vehicle? And he turned around and looked at her and was like, what? And then he walked to the back. And then she said, is there something hitting our vehicle in the back or something? Like something's happening here. And the grandpa was just like, looked at her and just goes, like ignored her and said, what? There is nothing in the back of the vehicle. And she goes, well, it feels like something just came in and sat down in our vehicle, and it just came in and sat down in our vehicle. I felt the whole vehicle move as if something came in and sat down in the back of our vehicle. And he just looked at her, and the next thing you know, just turned around and walked away. Like, oh well, she's, she's losing it. And so after I gave the little tour, I heard that. Me and Rachel heard it. And when they got through and they got in their vehicle and left, and I looked over at Rachel and I was like, I think we just had one of our ghosts leave. I was like, I think he had enough and he just left our house. He's hopping in the vehicle with them and leaving. And she was just like, that's horrible. I'm like, it is horrible. I was like, wow, that's crazy. And I kind of feel bad in a way. I do. It's like, I'm like, there he goes. It has left our house. Run. I didn't want to tell him, be like, yeah, we've had a haunted spirit in our house for a while, and now it's with you, so looks like it wants to go with you. You guys seem like you're a lot of fun, so obviously the ghost packed up its bags, put it in the back of her vehicle, that's what she was hearing, and then got in the vehicle and sat down with her. Oh, I don't know. I don't even know. It's just kind of funny. I hope that's not the case, but if it is, just let anybody know if they take one home with them from my house. They are friendly. They're just, I think one of them that always used to like I don't know. I always thought it was funny because I would tell Rachel something. I was like, you need to pick this up or you need to do something. And I think it was like her hat or something. And me and her both witnessed her hat go flying across her room off of her TV. It was like sitting on the edge of her TV and it flew like 5 feet out and landed right in front of her feet. And she was doing this dance, like this dance and dancing. And when it did that, she picked it up and I saw what happened. I go, whoa, did you see that? And that's whenever Rachel just like threw her hat, like she just dropped her hat. Why'd you have to say that? And I'm like, did you not see how far the thing flew off your TV? And she goes, yes, but I didn't think about it until you said, wow. I'm like, well, it wanted you to put on your hat so that way you could wear your hat while you dance. So it was a country, like wanted a country cowboy hat. And so she's like, yeah, but that's just weird. Well, I thought it was cute. I'm putting in a darker shade just in some of these areas where I have darkened it, like with the... We're probably going to have to switch over and probably use some of the pencils, especially for the more detailed areas. Hopefully he dries quick. Like I said, I was going to make this probably about an hour, but it seems like it's going just a little bit slower, but it's okay. I am going to take out my pencils now, and I'm going to use some of my pencils too. So I'm going to pull out my yellows, my oranges, and greens. Gosh, there's a whole bunch of greens in here. Yeah, I'll just take the whole tray. Be fine. All right, so let's work on these. You know what? I'm so silly. I forgot to do that. Oh well. Let's see if one of these is it. Where's my yellow? Sienna gold. I want an orange. I forgot to do the middle of his eyes. Cadmium orange. And then with my pencil, it didn't erase. Isn't that nice that things work out not in your favor and only for a live stream? Like I don't understand why it washed out very easily with my scarecrow that I drew. Yeah, I was mixing up all kinds of colors too. Why can't I remember? It was the Inktense I used last time. Okay, I remember. It came back to me. I was wanting to pick out only the Inktense that... Wasn't it? Only the Inktense that I had used? Or was it? No. Oh my goodness. Let me look. That doesn't look like Inktense. Oh, Warm Earth Colors. That was the core watercolors. Okay, so that was him. But he was the core watercolors and the triangle, the Taylor chalks by the Art Graph. Taylor chalks. And then color pencil. So he was a mixed media piece. I love this pumpkin. This little guy right here, I just absolutely adore him. And this came out so good. The clouds, the fog. I love this piece. That is like my favorite. I couldn't remember, but now I remember. Only because I had to get it and hold it in my hand. Otherwise, I didn't remember. I'm going to go in with a... I'm going to go in with some of the original color that I had here. Doesn't look like he darkened any neither. It'll be all right. We're just playing. We're having fun. Don't have to be perfect, Deborah. Don't have to be perfect. Have fun. Okay. And I know we're getting close to, already getting close to that hour mark already too. Isn't that something? Time just goes by so fast when you have fun. All right, let's just go ahead and make his nose yellow. Now I know on this paper, it just seems like it's very slick kind of feeling. Like it doesn't have a lot of texture to this paper. So whenever I'm using these Inktense pencils, it just feels really weird. Like, and see, this paper worked really, really well when I used it with the core watercolors and with the Taylor chalks. It did really, or Taylor chalks, I don't know why I keep on saying that, art graph. The art graph worked really well. The watercolors, core watercolors, did really, really well on it. The Inktense is the first time I've ever used Inktense on this paper, and I can just tell you by using it, it feels really kind of slick feeling, and it almost makes you feel like you need to push down harder than probably what you should with your pencils. And because I'm wanting to like tell myself I don't really need to push down that hard, but I'm literally having to make myself feel that way because of the paper. It feels like it's kind of waxy and it's not really going over it as well as what it, I mean, it just doesn't feel like it's going down. Like I have to push down a little harder on the pencil. So, and I'm not for sure. Okay, thank you. Thought it was just me. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking that these would probably be good on more, or at least better on a watercolor paper maybe, because I've used watercolor on these and these are fine, or at least some sort of texture paper. But doesn't mean you can't do that or use these on it. It just means it feels different, and it can be just something you have to train yourself. But see, I think it also protects the graphite from dissolving, because that is just crazy. Oh wait, it's coming off. Oh, good. Because I don't want lines through his eyes. That's the whole purpose of using graphite or water-soluble graphite, is so that it washes away the lines. You have to really put a lot more water down and really scrub to try and get that graphite off. I don't know if I like that pencil now. I mean, it worked well the first time I used it last week, but for some reason, when I use it with the Inktense, it doesn't want to wash away. It's crazy. Just, you have to really scrub on it. Note to self, erase it. Oh my goodness, Whiskey's over there having a blast, but he is acting super loud. I mean, we can always make this into an illustration kind of pumpkin. Okay. Let's let him dry. He definitely needs to be darkened up. He is super, super bright. And I used a darker orange, like right here. And that's like more of a darker color. And this one right here. And it still came out looking way bright. So hopefully I can darken this up, but let's move on to the greens for the stem. The other thing too to remember when using Inktense pencils that I know I had to do, and I did not bring it with me because I just didn't feel like it. I thought, you know what, we're just gonna have some fun with this one. But make a color chart with these and lay them down on a piece of paper, because the colors just don't, they're very deceiving. So even if you look on the edge of this and then you put on water on it, it will be slightly different than the ends of your pencils. Along with these blocks here, some of them will look almost, the same. Their colors are really hard to tell what they are or what they look like until you actually put them down on paper. So I would definitely suggest that if you are doing any kind of artwork with these, to make sure you have them laid out to where you can kind of look over at a color chart just to see what that color is. Or maybe if you're wanting that color, you'd be like looking through the chart and be like, I want this color, and then pick out that color. It's a little bit, I know sometimes it's a little bit hectic and you just want to have fun and just pull out whatever colors. But if you're really wanting to stick with like maybe even something more toward realism or getting it to look a little bit more realistic, and you're really picky about your colors, then definitely use a color chart with these. I'm just kind of adding in some of these colors. I will wet them. And hopefully just make them a little bit darker. Okay, and then let's take a different color green. Maybe this one. Oh, he decided to get his squeak toy and he's running around. Oh. So now you guys are going to hear a squeak toy in the background. That's Whiskey. I use watercolor. I did not have any water-soluble graphite. Okay. Hey, that works. It works 10 times better than water-soluble graphite by my experience. Because this was not fun with my lines showing through. I didn't have no problems before, like I said. Just tonight. I mean... Oh my gosh. Rachel's over there trying to hush him. Poor baby. He wanted to play. Oh, he's coming in here with his squeak toy, you guys. Oh, you dropped your squeak toy. Whiskey, you dropped your squeak toy. Yes, Rachel, he needs to go outside, baby. Can you take him out there? Because we'll be doing our drawing here soon. I like that. That looks cute. Like, he's having way too much fun. Okay, so these are my greens. I'm going to let that dry. Let's go ahead and try and make our pumpkin a little bit more darker, and then see what we can do. Even if you have to, if you're wanting to make like your shadows, use purples with your oranges to create shadows. So like there should be a violet at least in here. Deep violet, we can use that. And then we've got these oranges, tangerine, burnt orange. Maybe we'll try burnt orange. Let's see how dark this is. This here is still wet. Okay, so like, let's just say this shadow is really deep. Whoa, there it goes. And we can always take like a purple, just kind of throw that in there. Especially underneath the bottom of the pumpkin where it's sitting. There's always going to be a shadow there. Got to be careful not to tear up the paper though. That was still wet. I hit into that and it felt like quicksand. I'm just kind of going around it, going in between these bottom areas that would be like extremely dark. And this is a deep violet that I'm using. Okay. And then I'm really hoping that this ends up being darker. Note, if any of you guys are be like, well, you're not using your little glove and you're actually rubbing your hand and the oils of your skin is getting on the paper. I'm not going to sell this or anything. I'm just having a whole lot of fun. So I'm not necessarily looking for archival. I'm just looking for having a good time. This is not going to be sold. So I am not worried at all. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of split that off. What was that about? I heard Rachel, the world's biggest deep breath I've ever heard. And I'm like, really? Just using some different oranges here. I think this orange here is burnt orange and the other one for a little bit lighter tangerine. But I didn't grab a hold of my color thing to see exactly if this is one's darker than the other. So definitely trying to make it a little bit darker. I'm going to come up a little bit higher on these areas. And we could even take a little bit of that purple and just kind of stick it in here just a little bit. Let's just stick a little bit more in there. A little bit more of the purple. Need to be careful with this one. Still just a little bit wet on that side. I'm going to kind of go around the little wet area there. Because whenever I add water to it, it's just going to get re-wetted. So yep, looks like I went a little bit higher up on that side. I'm going to come back through and add some more of this tangerine. I'm going to go switch over and use tangerine. I'm not really being too like like a colored pencil. I mean, you're just adding in color wherever you want it. Whenever you blend with water, this is all going to be smoothed out. So it'll end up covering those areas. This is the darker orange here. I'm going to switch on over, and we are going to use the tangerine orange just to kind of come through here. And I'm hoping that this ends up making him a little bit darker. If not, we will throw, and we could end up doing it really lightly, use a light hand and just kind of toss in a little bit more of that violet in here. Maybe towards the bottom. And this is very lightly, like you can almost see speckles is all you're seeing. This area might have a little bit more than what I would typically like. That's fine. Now some of it doesn't even want to stick. Okay. It's fine. Some areas will be darker. All right, so now we got this colored in. Let's go ahead and use our water, kind of blend him out and just see what we got. Maybe. May have to use a hairdryer on him. I don't know if this, I don't know how the Inktense mixed media is working with the Inktense. Probably gonna have to let me know on that. If it's working anything similar to the Strathmore. So if you guys are watching this, and if you guys want me to do this is the first time I've ever used Inktense on this paper, I can already tell you that, is it possible to do Inktense on this paper? Yes, I did create a pumpkin. Yes, I'm able to blend my colors. Feels a little funny, but it is possible to use this paper with your Inktense. Would I do Inktense on this paper again? That's a hard one because I don't think I would. I think there's other papers that just accept the Inktense type of medium better than probably this one. It just feels very waxy on this paper, and it's just really kind of it just feels different in the layering process and everything. But it can be done. It just feels really weird that I don't know if I would want to do it on this paper again. I had Strathmore before, but I gave it to my daughter because I never could figure out what it what to make on them. Huh. Yeah, I've used it for my mixed media, but like that scarecrow I did last week. Oh my God, I absolutely loved working on this paper. Like it didn't it didn't bow up as much. I mean, yeah, there's some little bowing up, and this is all the watercolor and that core watercolor and those graphs. And look at that. It did not bleed through. I was able to do my highlights with my color pencil and create that watercolor with the smoky background. So it did really, really well. And I love the way it looks. Like I just love it. So I do like it as far as like mixed media. Watercolor did really well on it along with my color pencil. But that doesn't mean that you can't do it on a watercolor paper. But I really like that tone paper too. So I like to have a mixed media paper that you're able to do things with, at least would work with different mediums. But I'm going to have to say that this medium here, like Inktense, I don't know, it just feels so funny. Like you don't have the tooth and it feels really waxy. Like the pencils feel really waxy on it, that you're literally pressing down harder. And I don't really care for that too much. The funny thing is once you get done, if you like your painting or whatever it is you did, and you'll be like, wow, I like the way it looks. And then you're just like, but it wasn't as enjoyable if it feels funny, like feels funny. I wish it would stay the same color as when it was wet. I don't like it when it dries. It's like it dries and looks different. Actually, I kind of like that area there. I'm going to start putting a little bit of orange in here. A little bit of orange kind of going up through here. Soften it out with a little bit of water. So it's going to be lightly. If there's any orange still on my brush, I don't know. He's kind of funny looking. He's kind of cute. I like the darker shadows though of him. He just looks really creepy because he's wet and he looks weird. All right. So I think I'm pretty much, this has definitely been a unique little fun little pumpkin to work with. And yeah, he looks really creepy right now. But once he's dry, he will look I think he'll look a lot better. Even though he will not beat this one. This one he will not beat. This is my guy here. This is my pumpkin man. I like him. I don't know. He just looks kind of cute. I don't know. He looks like the marshmallow pumpkin, like the Michelin marshmallow guy, like off of Ghostbusters, except the pumpkin guy, Michelin pumpkin guy. I don't know. He just looks different. So I know that you guys are probably waiting for the drawing or for the giveaway. So why don't we go ahead and since it's already 8:20, let's go ahead and do that. Let's do that, and then we'll come back and we'll look at him and once he's dry. So maybe he might change just a little bit. I don't know. Rachel, you ready to do the drawing? You gonna be my Vanna White? Like my Vanna White. Except we are gonna do this pumpkin edition. Let me go ahead and switch this camera to... All right, so we are here. Whiskey? Or Whiskey. I just called you Whiskey. Rachel, get over here. I don't know what you're doing. I just know that the drawing has to be done. So are you doing sign language to me?
That's all you have to.
She's got paint on her face. She was in a parade today. So.
Oh, I look bad.
You're fine. So let's go ahead. Oh, is Whiskey going to come in here too? All right. So you guys ready for the drawing? All right, and then the one thing I do have to say is that once the names are picked, or whoever's name gets called, what you'll need to do is email me. My email is in the description below. Email me so that way I can get in touch with you and be able to get your address so that way I can ship it. Do not put your address in the comments or anywhere where people can see it, because you just don't know who's out there, and I want to make sure that you're safe. I want to make sure I'm safe. And we want to keep this to where there ain't no outside trolleys, you know. I always say the trolleys are going to get you. I don't know what they are. Is that what you call them?
What?
The mean people. The mean people out there. The trolls. You call them trolls?
The bad guys.
The bad guys. Okay, we don't need the bad guys to get our addresses. So that's what we're going to do is email. So you ready for this? Mm-hmm. We need drum roll. Oh, shut it. Got it? Mm-hmm. Do you want to read it?
The lazy-eyed artist.
We got the lazy-eyed artist. Oh my gosh. Look who's on there. It's you. You got it. Oh my gosh. I was like, look at that. The ghost trolls, and you're the winner. All right. So what you're going to do is just go to the description or go underneath my description and just shoot me an email, and then I'll just go ahead and get your address, and I'll say hi, you know, and I'll tell you that it's me, and I will ship this to you. So you will have it. Give me at least a week to ship it, and it'll be right out to you. So congratulations. Yay, that's so exciting. Aw, Rachel. She did good. All right. So anyways, you're welcome, and thank you so much for being a subscriber. And also for all the ones who entered, I just want to say thank you so much. And don't worry, there will be more giveaways. So this probably won't be the only one. I've been thinking about doing like smaller like giveaways. So if you guys like that and just do like some smaller little giveaways here and there, yeah, stay tuned because there will be more. This is not the end. So, all right. Now, well, you guys want to see my little pumpkin guy now that he's drawn? What are you playing with your hair for?
It's tingly. I always do that.
Okay, turn into pumpkin guy. She's over here doing something funny behind me. I don't like it. All right. Oh, God, I can still see you.
Is that a bad thing?
No. Thank you. She makes me laugh. We have way too much fun. So here's my little pumpkin guy, and of course he looks.
I see a spider web up here.
It's because I'm getting old. It's my gray hairs coming through.
Oh no, it's not that. It's like it's everywhere.
What is that? Oh. I guess he went with Whiskey going through drawers. So, yeah, here is the pumpkin guy. I guess we're going to go ahead, and I know this was a lot of fun creating this little pumpkin, and if you guys want to create a little pumpkin guy, have fun with him. I mean, this one here looks cute. The only thing is, experimenting with this paper, the graphite and Inktense, water-soluble graphite and Inktense did not want to erase very well with water. So, note to self, I will not be using that again. And probably changing out the paper too to probably a water-soluble paper. But yeah, I could get a regular colored pencils to go over the Inktense afterwards. Yeah, you could. And which color pencils would you be using? Would it be like a harder one or would it be a soft core one? I wonder how that would work because Inktense is, my paper's still probably too wet to try out. Let me see here. Mm. You know, the Derwent Drawing came out with their 72 set, and I've been saving up money little by little to get the big set. I can't afford it right now, but I've been like putting like money away in my little savings, and hopefully I can get that 72 set because these soft core pencils will go over, probably will go over that. Let me see. This is going to be awkward. They don't have as many colors in the 20 set of 24 or 26 that I have. I think it's 24 that I have. I'm not for sure. But I know that they have more colors. I have been using the polychromos. Okay, so the harder core. Hold on. Let me get out. I'm gonna get out maybe a violet and maybe a dark orange, or at least an orange. And then I got 2 and 2. I don't know what these are. Sepia, ruby earth. That's like a red. They look purple. Okay. See, I don't really have much choices when it comes to Mars orange. Here we go. Let's try it. Okay. There, it's so pretty. Aw. So let's go ahead and do the orange real quick. I just want to see. This is the Derwent Drawing. Now, the softer core pencil shows up. I could make some textures in here. Of course, it's a softer core lead. I figured that the softer cores would go over it. See if we can fill that in. I don't have no purples. I'm hoping that the set that they're coming out with on the 72 set has purples. That would be nice. All right, so let's try some orange on the polychromos. Yep, it's showing up. I just got to be careful because some of the paper is still damp. Let's do some purple. Oh yeah, that does really well. Actually. All right, yeah, look at that. That already did really well. Well, I was even able to get the yellow polychromos to go over the dark orange. No way. Let me go check that out. Hold on. That is so cool. I love being able to find out new stuff. Let me try light cadmium yellow. Let me just pull out some of the yellows. It don't matter. I just grabbed some. We found a way. Oh, well, I know. Hey, if there's a will, there's a way. Huh. And that's a super bright one. Let's try this one. Oop, that's a little... Why did that re-wet? Oh, maybe it was already wet. My yellow... Oh, there we go. This one, it just depends on what... It's like hit and miss on mine. Some of it's doing good. It's covering. I hate that the graphite did not wash away. That thing... Where's my white? Okay. My Derwent white. Probably gonna put a hole through my paper. But like I'll find that one spot that just wasn't dry. I don't know. I may be making it worse. I was trying to see what I could do with that graphite. That graphite is there. Whoops. Wow, that's a first. Who says that I can't break a polychromos lead? That probably was already broke. Because usually they're a lot harder to break. And for some reason I broke it. I must be Hercules today. So yeah, the polychromos is going over it pretty good. I mean, there's different ways of doing it. I mean, heck, that works for me too. It's too bad I can't cover up the graphite lines. I mean, I can cover them up a little bit, but they are not budging. It said, heck no, you are not covering me up. So I guess, let's see here, who's using cadmium yellow? Naples. Light yellow glaze, Naples yellow, and light cadmium yellow. Dark cadmium yellow, light chrome yellow. Whoops. Maybe I don't have a regular cadmium yellow. Why don't I have a regular cadmium yellow? I get a light cadmium yellow. It does show up just a little bit. I may have laid my orange down really thick though, that it just said heck no. All right, well, that was really a lot of fun experimenting and having some fun doing this pumpkin. I'm probably going to end up calling it for the night. I know I usually don't like to end it really quick. The only reason why is because usually on Friday nights we're doing our grocery shopping. So I know my daughter's like, I want some groceries. She's probably going to help me with the groceries. And then tomorrow we got to do some more Halloween decorating outside because I actually had the news crew stop by and actually take a look at our Halloween decorations. So you never know. We may actually be on the news. Not for sure, but they said they would stop by and possibly give me an interview. So I was like, oh, wow. Make it to the news station for my Halloween decorations outside. That's how much I decorated. So it's been very busy around here. And it is very Halloweenish around here too. So I guess we're going to go ahead and end it. I hate to say it because I'm actually having a lot of fun experimenting with this little pumpkin guy. But I just want to congratulate you on, or congratulate the Lazy Eyed Artist for the win for our giveaway. And I want to go ahead and thank you to all my subscribers. Again, this is awesome. And like I said, don't feel down. We will have another giveaway, I promise you. So let's just keep this channel growing and let's have some fun. So I guess until next time, bye you guys. I don't even know how to work my mouse over here. Bye you guys.